guys, I just want to let you know that I've been messing around with some decks. I haven't been streaming much lately, haven't really been feeling in the headspace to stream, but I have been sort of messing around with some decks. I figured I'd go ahead and throw up a list for you guys so that I'm not completely just sort of scrubbed out. Here it is. This is just a little bit of a discard deck using the new revamp to Lort. Alrighty, so we'll just walk through the list real quick. I'm going to keep this as short and concise as possible, and I also want to at least prelude the fact that this is not a tier 1 deck. You're probably going to lose some games with this deck, but it's a nice little change of pace if you want to get a nice shell for Lort. I tried to keep it as concise and to the point as possible. This deck went through a few different iterations, but the spirit of it is more or less the same. Again, you're going to lose games with this. You're not going to rank up real bad on the ladder with it, so that's your jam. Then go net deck like all the other bots out there and play whatever the hell is on top of the ladder. This is a little something different and new, and a little change of pace, but here it is. Don't mind the title. I chose the title as Pretzel Wagon because I've been using Simpsons quotes as all of my decks. So we've had Sex Cauldron and Globex Corporation and Pretzel Wagon. And anyways, that's what we're at right now. So I'll go through the list and I'll tell you a little bit about how the deck works. So we've got 2 Cairn Henge. I've got Black Hatter, 2 Brainstorms, 2 God's Blood Transfusions. I got 2 times Sea Haven, which is a very important aspect of this. Of course, we've got Braggy for sure. Thunderclap times 1, double Valkyrie Enforcer. I got a single Magnus. That wraps up the blue category. And here's one of my new favorite cards to mess around with, which is Mind Freak. We'll get to that a little later. 4 times Racer in the Shadow, twice Redcliffs, 3 Sword Saints, Rogue Eidolon. I've got Feng Shui Master, Pushy Oni, 2 times Spirit Away. I've got Jinsuk the Doll Master, 3 Lantern Colossuses, Sizes, 2 Boogeymen, and of course Lort. Right here, this is what we're talking about, our big boy Lort, which is where everything sort of takes precedence. Now it's a 1/3 lurker, and every time it connects, it gains an energy, and then and your opponent loses as much energy as it has. So on the first swing, they're banishing the top 2 cards. Now it's important to note this is banishing. This isn't discarding, so they can't go and get these cards back out of the graveyard later. This is a card that can really hit home runs if you banish the right card. At 2 cost, blue, purple gem, 1/3. The body's there to sort of allow it to save face early on, but it's still susceptible to some pretty nasty surprises. Nonetheless, we've got 3 times Lort. So how does the deck work? Well, obviously the objective of this particular deck is to get Lort to connect a few times, 3 or 4 times, to really skim off the top of your opponent's deck. If they cannot answer Lort, then you're kind of free and clear. The problem with this deck is that it kind of lacks a little bit of board clear, because purple doesn't really board clear, and blue with Magnus Thunderclap isn't good enough to do so. So you have to protect and really make it work that way. The 4 Racer and Shadows is to sort of drop down and clear things out of the way when necessary. Should probably mention that I have Journey of Souls and Impel. Journey of Souls and Impel. Impel, obviously you want to dance around and move things around and connect for damage, but at the same time, Journey of Souls gets you back a lot of important creatures, like your Lorts, if they die, as well as your Racers and Shadow, again, to go ahead and continue to smack face, and smack face. So the problem I had with this deck was obviously keeping the Lort alive, because everybody likes to play nasty stuff these days, and it is what it is. Lort is very susceptible on curve to a Miso Libre and an Iron Belly Wyvern. Those things are nasty. I do have Redcliffe, if necessary, to stop the Iron Belly Wyvern, and you do get an extra turn after they play the when they play the Miso Libre, so you can drop something next to the Lort because it has Lurker. The key here is to sort of sit Lort on Sea Haven. Sea Haven giving it Agile so you can continuously connect, and then they skim off the top. And Armor on your turn, meaning that it takes 5 points of damage in 1 swipe to get rid of your Lort, which is a little bit more difficult to come by. By the time they're slapping down 5 damage in 1 burst, a lot of the times you'll be able to sort of maybe spirit something away, Jinsuk as well, or just straight away continue to put things down to protect it. Now I want to talk to you about Mind Freak. Mind Freak is a phenomenal 1-drop card that really puts the screws to a lot of decks. What this does is, for 1 mana, you look through your opponent's hand, so you have information, which is pretty vital, and it also makes 1 card ephemeral and increases the cost by 3. So you could find a card that you can already throw up above the cap of 10 mana. So if something costs 8 or 9 or even 10, you can really put it out of range for them to play. And also, when it's ephemeral, it means that when you burn it, banished. When you put it in the graveyard or the boneyard, banished. So this card here unlocks so much or negates so many threats right out of the gate. Not to mention, when something's ephemeral and hits the board, it's a nice clean kill for your Valkyrie Enforcer when it finally comes down. So the Valkyrie Enforcer just bounces to the back to the hand, but it's ephemeral, so it's gone. Anyways, you see how this deck pretty much shapes up. It's not going to win you a ton of games, but it might give you some really cool moments and something to play with. Here it is. Hope you enjoy it. Again, thanks for watching the video. Sorry for no streams lately. We've just had a little bit of a some mental issues that I've been sort of trying to muscle through, but nonetheless, thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you soon. Not sure when, but we'll see you soon.